Imagine this, you have a 65% win rate strategy. You are profitable on paper, your strategy works, and you are ready to go for that first payout. And then you hit 8 losses in a row. You start questioning everything. The markets, the strategy, your whole identity as a trader. And most people change their strategy right here. They go hunting for a new one, the next shiny thing. They use it for a couple of weeks and they hit another bad streak and they quit that strategy too. But what if I told you that 8 losses in a row was not your strategy problem, but it was mathematically going to happen? And in this video, I'm going to show you the maths exactly why this happens. Just the cold statistics that every trader should know, but no one actually does. Let me paint you a picture because this happens to almost everyone. You backtest a strategy, you see solid results, you see very good win rate, and then you go live because you feel like you've cracked it. First couple of trades is a win. You feel very happy and confident. Then you may take, let's say, 3 losses. You shrug it off because this is very normal. At 5 losses, you might cut the size in half. At 6, 7 or 8 losses, you are convinced the strategy is broken. The market has changed and the strategy is gone. Then you decide to scrap that strategy because it's no longer working. Weeks later, you go back to the original strategy and it's working again, but without you in it. This just means that you did not have a strategy problem, you had a variance problem. And the worst thing, it was going to happen all along. You just didn't know what normal trading looked like. When I actually sat down and run the math behind this, I was honestly shocked. A 65% win rate strategy sounds great. A follow streak should never going to happen. But probability does not care about how you feel. So here are the real numbers behind this. If you trade at 65% win rate, a chance of hitting 4 losses in a row is roughly 77%. 3 out of 4 traders with that win rate will eventually hit 4 losses in a row. And even at 70% win rate, which is genuinely elite by professional standards, you still have a 55% chance of hitting 4 losses in a row. And unfortunately, it gets worse longer you trade. Over 1,000 trades and 60% win rate with 99.9% confidence, you are mathematically expected to hit 7 or even 8 losses in a row. Not might, this is expected. At 50% win rate, you are likely to see more like 9 losses in a row at some point. These streaks are not anomalies, they are not bad luck. They are scheduled appointments your strategy has with the markets, and they are going to happen whether you like it or not. And this is why not understanding this destroys majority of the traders. Because your brain is calibrated for a coin flip. You might hit few heads or few tails, but no run should feel like it's going to happen more than 4 times. And that's simply how human pattern recognition works. But you and I know that trading is not a coin flip. It's a weighted distribution playing over hundreds or even thousands of samples. And in any large enough sample, extremes such as extreme loss streaks are eventually going to happen. Even Renaissance hedge fund, which is the most successful quant fund in history, reportedly had only 51% win rate. As Robert put it, you can make billions that way. Renaissance trades every day, yet they still lose 40% of the time. The edge is small, but the consistency and scale they work with make it work because they understand the math. So even if professional traders get around 50 to 60% win rate, then losing streak of 5, 6, 7 or even 8 is not a failure. And once you accept this, this is genuinely going to change the way you trade. A losing streak no longer feels like a failure and stops becoming an emotional event and becomes a data point. Because you are no longer failing, you are sampling. The losing streak already happened in your backtest, but you just never noticed it because you were not living tick by tick. So please, let me tell you 3 things that every trader should understand. 1. Expected streak length grows with sample size. This just means that the longer you trade, the longer the streak will get. And that is not a bug, that's how probability works. Because the strategy may look good over 100 trades, but over 1,000 trades, it can look catastrophic. 2. Your win rate tells you completely nothing. And it's because a 65% win rate with 1-to-1 risk to reward and a 45% win rate with 1-to-3 risk to reward can produce the same exact expectancy, but completely different streak profile. Because higher risk to reward means longer losing streak. 3. Position sizing is not a suggestion. It's a survival. If let's say you risk 5% per trade, which I do not recommend at all, and you hit statistically normal 8 loss streak in a row, you are down over 35% of your account. And from there, you don't need 35% to get back to break even, you need 54%. So that's not a strategy problem, that's math problem, because you do not understand how position sizing works. So when you next find yourself in 5, 6 or even 7 losses in a row, please ask yourself this question. Is this strategy actually broken, or is this what the math actually predicted? Because 9 times out of 10 is not your strategy, it's variance doing its job. Professional traders do not have a stronger psychology than you. They have better expectations. They already accepted that losing streaks are part of the trading game, so they accept when they happen. They don't panic, they don't tweak, and they don't quit. They just purely understand that this is part of trading. So please, stop reacting to normal losing streak. Start expecting them. And if your account cannot survive statistically normal losing streak, you do not have a strategy problem. You have a math problem. And no new system is going to change that until you actually understand it and do the math. Drop a comment below and let me know about your worst losing streak. How long was it? How did you get out of it? I will be reading every single one of them. Thank you for watching and see you next week.